Hi, my name is Rick Smith with Sweet Fountains, talking today about the operation of an SF Pro Series Summit chocolate fountain. We've got the chocolate here in the base. We've actually pre-melted the chocolate. You can do the chocolate one of three ways. First way here is we've used a non-marking plastic spatula, and we have the chocolate that's melted in the base. We suggest melting it in the base somewhere between 80 and 85 degrees, operation of the fountain at 70. We have the fountain facing the opposite way today, just so you can see the operation of the control panel. If you notice, the control panel should be bouncing back and forth between about 75 and 65 degrees Celsius. So we've got the chocolate in here. There's two other ways you can fill your machine up with chocolate. I do suggest if you are going to melt it in the base, you want to do maybe about 4 to 5 pound intervals and then stir and add as it slowly melts. The other way you can do it is if you use a double boiler Bain-Marie. If you pre-melt your chocolate. Now remember, SF Signature chocolate doesn't need any oil or additives generally. So this is just, all we did is just take the chocolate, pour it in, and we're good to go. Bain-Marie, you can double boil it, pour it in. And the other option, which is fairly popular, is using our bagged product. Remember, we sell a bulk, which comes in 50-pound bulks, or a bagged product. And the bagged product's really simple. You just microwave it, right as the instructions say, and then we have little pull tabs right here. You just pour it right in. I like to just fold the bag right in half, squeeze it down, and you kind of get the idea. You can do a little bit more there. All right. Now this machine needs about approximately 14 pounds to operate. The more you use the machine, the more you can operate on less and less chocolate with a couple little nuances. It does hold up with maximum capacity in the low 20-pound range. But right now what we're going to do is, now that we've got the machine chocolate melted, we're going to assemble the machine. We're going to start with the bottom shaft, which is the tallest of the 3 shafts. And we have an assembly video, but we're just going to go ahead and do it one more time. I'll kind of walk you through. Remember, you want to go until it drops down into place. Next thing, you got the large tier. It's going to slide into place. Bottom middle tier. Or sorry, bottom middle shaft. Bottom middle tier. Top middle shaft. Top middle tier. Top shaft. Top tier. Now one thing you can do, actually, and I probably should have shown you this the first way, is the auger. It's a threaded auger, it reverse threads. One thing you can do is, if you're not tall enough to reach in and put it in like it's shown in the assembly video, is with this piece like this, actually this one, you put the bottom part of the auger in at this point, drop it into place, and then you can do this over. You can also assemble the auger first, but the advantage of this is you don't have to be extremely tall. So once you've got it in place, you need to reverse thread the auger. It just screws together right here. And the nice part of the split auger is it fits in most dishwashers. That's the main reason. Big difference between us and some of the other chocolate fountains on the market. You don't have that big tall shaft that's going to be a challenge to fit in most dishwashers, commercial or residential. Next part is we're just going to go back on what we were doing there a second ago. So back to the top tier here. Slides and snaps into place. And this is what we call the crown or top hat. You want to make sure that middle portion goes into place. There we go. Now that's a quick assembly. If you need to see a full assembly, we have a separate video showing the assembly. The main purpose of this video is to see what a chocolate fountain looks like when it's running correctly, and some of the things it'll do if it's not running correctly. Once again, up front here, you should be in the 65 to 75 range. We've got the temperature set at 70. That's a great temperature for most chocolates. If you're running white chocolate, you might want to run 60. So we're going to go ahead and fire this up. Now I know right before we go any further that the level is not on this machine. Usually something I would suggest doing, grabbing a level and make sure it's level. Because this machine is tilted, the chocolate's going to come down on the side. But even if you don't have a level, I'm going to show you what it does when you have an unlevel machine. I'm going to fire it up here. As your chocolate comes down, see how it's coming down this side first? Now this machine's fairly level, but what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you what will happen when it's not level. Alright, if you notice, you got more chocolate coming down on this side. It's probably hard to see from the video. Let me put it right here. If you bring this side up, you'll notice that the chocolate is gapping on one side and all coming down one side. That means your machine's off level. So all you need to do is whatever side the chocolate's coming down on, you need to bring that side up. So in this case, it's not extremely visible, but the machine is leaning this way a little bit. So all we're going to do is we have 4 leveling feet. We're going to level, take the machine, and just bring up that side. And you can kind of tell, it's somewhat hard to tell, but it's still coming down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and run a level on it just to make sure. Yeah, from this side, it still needs to come up a little bit more. You know, it's very simple to tell. You can run a level with it, but you can always do it visually. And all you got to do is just give it a visual. The chocolate's coming down one side, that side needs to come up. Now, if you know you've got the fountain level, another common thing is, you're not going to see it once again right now, is because we put enough chocolate in it. But a chocolate fountain will have gaps in it. If the fountain's level, and you have, let's say you had 10 pounds of chocolate in here, this is about a 14-pound minimum unit, you would see gaps coming down all sides evenly. So first thing, check level. Second thing, check that you've got the right amount of chocolate. Depending on, read your instruction manual, different units require different amounts. And then the third issue, if you've got enough chocolate and the machine's level, is are you using the right chocolate? So too thick a chocolate is going to give you big gaps in here. It's not going to flow right, and it really can reduce the longevity of your machine. So you want to make sure you're using a good quality chocolate, or you can use our SF Signature Chocolate Fondue. It's made just for fountains. It's an all-natural product. It's very tasty and fairly affordable, depending on how we have different purchase price points. I'm going to go ahead and shut the machine off. And so if you see those gaps there, that's a huge gap. But if you do lesser gaps, but here you go again. See how it's coming down this side? That means that side probably could come up a little bit more in theory. But anyways, that's the operation of an SF Pro Summit Chocolate Fountain. And you can see more on our website, sweetfountains.com.